Linda Avery.
And I'm Ellie Aarons.
And we're really happy to have you with us. Today we're going to be talking about the OrCam MyEye 3, which we just released. And just so you know a little bit about me, I'm Linda, and I am our Influencer Relations and Community Manager. And as part of our role here, what we do is every month we have live sessions like this. We've been on Facebook, we've been on Instagram for OrCam MyEye or OrCam Read owners. We also have events for helping you get acquainted with your device or learning the more advanced features. So with that in mind, we'll get started. This is really just an opportunity, about 20 minutes or so, to get to know the OrCam MyEye 3.
And just for everyone who wants to know a little bit about me, I'm the social media manager for OrCam. So if you leave a comment on our Facebook page, I will be the one responding to you, and I look forward to hearing from you guys.
Okay, great. So this is the reason why we're all here today. This is the OrCam MyEye, and here we go, it's reading. And the OrCam, I'll take a step back. OrCam as a company was founded over a decade ago, and the idea driving the founders was creating a
Lots of talking to do.
Creating a device that specifically helped the blind and visually impaired community. And a lot of times with high-tech companies, you'll see they'll start out with a solution and then they'll try to figure it out, who it's for, what problem it solves. But for the creators of OrCam, from the beginning, it was always about empowering the visually impaired community and making the world a more accessible place.
Absolutely, and I think something really important about OrCam is that he really wants to get involved in the whole discussion. Totally.
He can't wait for us to show him off.
Absolutely. I think something really important about OrCam is not just that it's about a company providing a solution. It's really about a movement, I would say, about having more tools to enable accessibility, to empower people with disabilities, to allow for more inclusivity. That this should be what our standard in our world is that people can access everything just like anyone without a disability can. And that's really what OrCam is about.
Yeah, so with that in mind, I'll kind of show you guys the basic of OrCam MyEye, and then we recently released OrCam MyEye 3, which has additional features, which we'll show you also. And the idea is really to have OrCam MyEye with you however you need it. So here we go. This is the OrCam MyEye. When you get it, it has like a magnetic hatch, I guess, and you can use it to connect the device to it. But it works with most glasses. Like for example, if I wanted to connect it to these, it would work. And the idea is really so that the glasses position the OrCam MyEye, so it's in front of you. So that means you can basically use it without having to hold anything. This is the device. It's about the size of your finger. It's lightweight. You have here, which is kind of like the scrolling bar, the camera in front of you. And it has features that work both offline and, as we'll show you in a bit, when connected to a web-based magnifier. So this is the OrCam MyEye. You wear it, and some of from the beginning, when the founders were thinking about what they wanted to include on the device, one thing that came up over and over again was really having it work wherever you go. So that is one reason why the basic core features work offline. So everything you need within the device is within the device. So for example, I have a book. I want to read the book. There are a few ways actually I can use the device to read the book. I can, for example, point at the text and it will read it.
Shouting matches if she was in a particular.
And you can see I use a gesture, a very intuitive gesture, like I put out a stop sign, a stop hand gesture, and it will stop. Or I could even just tap it like this and it will read the entire page. Another feature it has is, and just kind of to give you kind of the why behind the reading. So obviously the world around you is obviously full of text, and the idea is not just that you can read the text, but it also gives you the option to read the text privately and discreetly. So for example, the device itself, it looks like a Bluetooth device, and a lot of our users will say, I never wanted to buy assistive technology because I didn't want to stand out. And then the OrCam MyEye came along, and it was so discreet that I felt like I could wear it in public. And in the user space, you'll see users talking about using it in the supermarket or if they go out to a restaurant, and it means that they have the power to really engage with the world on their own terms. No one has to know that they have an assistive technology unless they want them to. And we also have another user who uses it to read her mail. So for example, that means she gets something in the mail, she gets a bill, and she can use her OrCam MyEye to read it. She doesn't need to depend on anyone, and it's both empowering and also from a security perspective, knowing that you control who has access to your information. And if you decide you want to read something yourself, you know, you don't have to depend on anyone else.
And it really boosts confidence, meaning like when you have, I mean, many people with disabilities know that when you aren't able to do something that so many people are able to do, it really is disempowering. And here, when you have this device, it really boosts your confidence and allows you to participate in activities that everyone else participates in, and it allows you to be fully active member of society without feeling dependent on others. You're independent, you can succeed, you can achieve so much more because you now have that assistance without relying on a human being. It's all you with a little bit of help from OrCam.
Yeah, and on that note, I'll tell you another story. So another one of the features that was really with us from basically the beginning was facial recognition. And the idea is that you know, you're going around in the world and you can use the device both to identify if it's a person in front of you and also to remember them for next time. So I'll show you an example. Okay, so it sees text in the background.
Take the page and try again.
But the idea is I'm sitting with Ellie and I'm just looking at her, and the device has never seen Ellie before, so it recognizes her as a woman. Or I can also program it to remember Ellie, and I can say like however I want. I can say Ellie OrCam. It'll take kind of a voice note, so whenever I see Ellie, it will like say Ellie in my voice, and I can even program it so, for example, like every certain amount of time it will tell me. So like if I'm sitting here with Ellie, you know, we have this live together, I don't need to be reminded every 3 minutes that it's Ellie because I know it is, but it could be, you know, walk in the room, I'll come out, and I can program it really to customize it to my needs.
We actually have an influencer who she has a few children, and she programs her kids saying the voices. So every time she sees, you know, a device identifies one of her children, it says it in their voice, which is a really cool and a special thing.
Yeah.
That you get to hear. I think she says this, that she gets to hear her son's voice, and it's just so special,
Yeah.
and it adds that certain emotional aspect to it that really brings accessibility and vision, you know, the assistive vision devices to a different level, and it's really cool.
And it allows for kids to really be part of it.
Right. That's a very cool thing.
And like also with the OrCam, it's kind of like in every feature it has, there are multiple ways of doing it. So for example, with the reading, I showed you I can point, I can tap, I can also set it up so that it automatically recognizes text, so I don't even have to do anything. And like, for example, if I'm reading a book, I can just have the book in front of me, and every time I turn the page, it will recognize it. With facial recognition, it's similar. You know, I can program it by tapping here, I can do a vocal command, and it'll remember it. So I'll kind of show you, it's very quick.
Face learning. Please keep holding the bar for up to 30 seconds. Please name the person in front of you after the beep.
Ellie OrCam.
Ellie OrCam. Touch to confirm adding person. Person learned.
So now, Linda, take a look at me. See if
Ellie
it-
OrCam.
And then it says Ellie OrCam. So imagine you're in a room, you're in some public place, or you're at an event, and you have your family members around, and you already program them in, or you program them in as you go along. It'll just keep recognizing for you, and you no longer have to have those awkward moments where you ask, "Who is this again? Who are you?" You already know, and it's in your ear. It's so quietly. You don't have. It's not a big loud, sound. So it really allows for just smoother interactions and more positive interactions and more comfortable interactions.
Yeah, and for example, we have one community ambassador, and she wrote a post also again in the Facebook community where she was saying, when she was working and she would have to meet, like, for example, coworkers at a restaurant, like it could be kind of awkward having to rely on people to tell her who's with her, or she didn't want to feel like a burden, and so she would just have her OrCam MyEye, and it would help her. She'd go to the restaurant, she'd know who was with her, and all by herself.
It's very cool, and I feel like it's really important to know that this is, like we were mentioning a couple stories. There are so many stories like this where people didn't have these abilities before, these capabilities, and now that they have them, it's like a whole new world has opened up to them. They get like a second chance at doing all these things, and they really get to feel a sense of empowerment and success
And
independence that they didn't have before. And we have so many stories like that, and it's so heartening for us who work at OrCam to read them, and then we really want to share them with you, and we really want you to have the same experience, because it really is life-changing. It's a game changer.
Yeah, it's designed really to empower you. In addition to the facial recognition and the capabilities to basically read any text, including on the screen, OrCam MyEye can also identify banknotes, it can identify barcodes, it can identify colors, you can program it to recognize certain products or objects. Like, for example, I programmed it to remember my air conditioner remote. If you have a credit card, for example, a lot of our users will use the OrCam device to recognize and remember the credit card, because they're all the same size and it's easy to get them mixed up.
So I see we have a question. What can people do? What more things can people do with OrCam devices who can only listen? They can only hear. Is that the question? People ask to describe more what you do with OrCam for people who can only listen.
So if you aren't seeing, that's a great question, and I apologize. I'm sorry for not walking through. So basically what I had just shown was when I was reading the text, I put the glasses on me with the OrCam on the right-hand side, and it's magnetic strips, so it's attached. And I was either pointing to the book. I have a book in front of me, just like a simple textbook I got in the bookshelf, any book that will work with. And I was either showing how I can point it and it will start reading, or I can tap the device on the swiping panel and it will start reading. In terms of the facial recognition,
there it goes.
In terms of the facial recognition, I basically again was wearing my glasses with the OrCam MyEye on it, and I looked at Ellie and I just kind of put my finger on the touch bar, and then there was this the shutter sound, and the device started to take pictures of Ellie, and that's how it comes up with the image.
Right, and just a note here, because we got this question, we do have some team members on the side helping with questions, so please, drop them in the comments, and we're going to get to them either at the end or in the middle, so keep them coming. We're here really to answer your questions, so you get all the information you want about the OrCam devices, and the OrCam MyEye 3 specifically.
And actually, it's a great point as well, because the OrCam MyEye is designed for anyone from low vision to fully blind. So we have fully blind users, and it's actually designed for fully blind users as well, because it doesn't, basically with the text, you just put it in front of you, and that's how it works. Or with the person, it works in front of you. You don't have to position it. The OrCam MyEye is already positioned since it's on your glasses. And in addition to that, you don't have to hold it. You just tap it here and there, but it works. For example, now that Ellie's programmed into it, I don't have to tap my finger on it. It will just recognize her. So for example, we have users who either maybe they have a cane or a guide dog or both, and that's a big reason why the device is kind of designed the way it is, so that it sits on your face. You don't have to hold it. It just works.
That's another example of how OrCam is so focused on creating an accessible device to create more accessibility, that we're always innovating to create such a device. We think about every little thing. We take the feedback of our customers and our users so seriously to really create devices that work for you, that work for your needs, that work for low vision and blindness needs, from the range of
a full
spectrum of all the levels of vision. And I think that brings us to what the next feature of the OrCam MyEye 3 is.
And before we actually move on, I just want to say that's a great segue, but with the device itself, the core features I outlined, the text reading, facial recognition, barcode reader, currency reader, color recognition, and product recognition and learning, those are all without Wi-Fi. So for example, you can use them on the go. So say you go to the supermarket, it's really a whole journey. You go to the supermarket, you're wearing your OrCam MyEye, you pull out a can of tomatoes, and the OrCam MyEye will scan the barcode. Then you go to pay, and you can, say you give a $50 bill, and the cashier gives you a $20 bill, the OrCam MyEye will both recognize the $50 bill and tell you, and it will also tell you the $20 bill. So you know how much you're giving, you know how much you're getting, and this way, if it's not the right amount, you'll know. And you also get your receipt. So it's really the full journey. Or for example, since it works without Wi-Fi, we actually have, in terms of like the content that social media influencers and creators make, it's really like they'll use it a lot in the airplane actually, or when traveling, because you don't need internet.
Right. I want to add another story that we had. We had a user that had the device, and I think one of the highlights for him was when he took a lot of cabs, and that he no longer felt like he was going to get cheated.
Yeah.
Yeah, that he could give the money and he knew he was getting his change back. He knew exactly what he was supposed to get, and he could say, hey, you actually owe me another $5 or something like that. So that's a really big, I don't know what other emotion to describe it as, beyond empowering, and also the sort of self-confidence that you can take care of yourself.
Yeah.
And I think that's a really cool feature of OrCam. Anyway, so back to what we were going to get to is the next feature. OrCam really takes all comments and suggestions very seriously. You can always send them to us on social media, anywhere, any of our social media channels, email,
or in the Facebook group as well for users.
Right. If you're a user already in the OrCam user space, OrCam listens to everything. We see everything. So one of these things was that OrCam came up with with a stand and a Smart Magnifier, which was originally introduced in the Read 3, but is now also in the MyEye 3. Essentially, there's the stand here, so it allows you to slip your MyEye here. I don't know if you can see it so well.
Yeah, I just put it
touched
in.
it. Okay,
And with the camera facing down.
Facing down. So let's say you have a book, and you put the book. It's a special stand. You can open it to the page you want. Slide it in. Okay, and it will take a picture. You'll hook it up to, so first of all, you can just leave it as a reader, right? It's a stationary reader.
Yeah.
If you want to read a book and you want to chill out on your couch, just relax, it'll just read to you. You'll have it hook up, take a picture, scan it, and it will just read to you, which is really comfortable, really nice experience to be able to do that. The other thing it does is it connects to a Smart Magnifier, which the Smart Magnifier, it's basically it's a web browser based magnifier that comes along with an interactive AI assistant. So I'm going to just log in quickly and just show you what that looks like.
And the idea also, this is an example kind of how OrCam really listens to users, because the way the stand was created in the beginning was because we heard from our community that they wanted a way to read hands-free. Right. So they just wanted to be able to put it down and lean back, and that's it. And with the Smart Magnifier as well, they wanted kind of to take the next step. So the Smart Magnifier, it's web-based, so it's something you do like, at home or at work. Usually with magnifiers, they're really big, really clunky. And with this, all I need to use this is, I have my OrCam MyEye, I have the charging cable it comes with, so I don't even need a different cable. I plug it into the computer and it will work. Or alternatively, I can just upload a PDF or a JPEG.
Right, which is actually what we're going to do today. But this is essentially what it looks like. I don't know how well you guys can see it. But let me just make sure you can see. 1 second. I'm just going to make sure you guys can see clearly. If you can see here a little bit, this is basically what the dashboard or the home page of the Smart Magnifier looks like.
So on the left, like I'll just walk everyone through it. On the left there is,
here I'm going to turn around this way.
On the upper right hand side. So basically what happens is you come here, you're logging, you log in as Ellie mentioned, and you can either add a photo either with your OrCam device, or you can browse and upload a file. So this is really good if you've a PDF or something I used it for example, if I have a photo online that I want to look at. On the upper right hand corner, you have a gear, which is how to go into settings. You can change the language. If you have a question for customer support, you can do it all here. So it's super easy. You don't even have to leave the cast magnifier. Here's where there's a button on the left hand side on top with a plus sign, and that is how you can add a new image. So if you want to do another PDF, or if you want to take a different photo with your OrCam device, there is text. So there's a button 2 down, and it is a yellow button here with black, and there's a yellow T in it. And the idea is with that, you can play around with the colors. So for example, here Ellie has it black background, yellow letters. The standard is of course white with black, but you can do white with purple. There are tons of different options. I think it's over 8 options of colors. So it really allows you to customize how you want to see it.
That's something else also about OrCam. We're trying to make a personalized experience for you and your vision needs, because no one's vision is the same. No one's vision impairment is the same.
No one's needs are the same.
Right,
Even every
right.
day, day to day, hour to hour, it can change how you want to access.
Right, exactly. And also with people who have vision changes over time. So even though today you might need one thing, in 2 months or 3 months you might need something else. So really our products are designed to help you throughout all vision changes. I'm going to actually demo
Yes, an
an example. So we're going to actually start off with a menu, because that's a really cool thing. If you're ordering takeout, right, and you kind of just want to know what you're doing, here you get takeout.
Yeah.
So first we're going to just talk about the magnification abilities of the Smart Magnifier. So here actually it automatically came into text mode, not into the actual
Here's a brief
original.
summary of the restaurant menu.
I'm going to pause
It
that.
offers a
That actually is the interactive AI assistant, which basically when you upload or take an image right away, the AI assistant is going to immediately give you a summary of what it is.
And also give you prompts, so like you don't have to know how you're going to interact with the device or what you need to ask it. Like it's going to tell you things you can ask it, things you can find out.
Right. That's probably one of the great things. We're going to go into that in a little bit, but here it's going to give me a summary. I'm going to go again and see to give me a summary, but I want to just first show you the magnification. So here you can see it's contrasted into the black and yellow. I just want to demo to you how it would look if I changed it. So here I'm going to do the black and white. Here you have the black and white. It actually is the original colors of the, trying to scroll up here. It's actually the original colors of the menu. So if you feel like that's something that you want to do, and I'm going to zoom in here. So obviously you can go in really close to see. Here it says Mango Blast. Yeah, you can read it there. Yeah, it sounds really good. And then you can zoom out. You can change the lighting as well if you need it lighter or darker. If you need it lighter or darker, you can make it lighter or darker here.
Yeah,
There.
by changing the contrast, there's a button to change the contrast.
You can also adjust it. I don't know, depending on the type of document you have or image, you can rotate it around. See here? I don't know how well you can see, but you can rotate it around. Okay, I'm going to zoom out just so you can see there. And now I want to just kind of demo the interactive AI assistant, which is one of the coolest features of the Smart Magnifier. Linda, come in a little bit. I feel like you're getting out of the screen a little bit. Anyway, it's going to basically, when you upload it, like I said before, you upload your image or your document, the interactive AI assistant, which is built into the Smart Magnifier, it's going to give you, I'm going to put this down, it's going to give you a summary of what it is, of what you're looking at. So in this case, I think it might, let's see what it does. 1 second. Plus this button. Please give us, oh, it's already giving me the summary. I didn't even have to prompt it this
I'm
time.
glad to hear that you find the menu fun. Is there anything specific you'd like to know more about or discuss?
Yes, please give me a summary of the menu.
The menu consists of coffee, juices, and desserts with detailed descriptions of each item and their prices.
That sounds like my kind of menu. Can you tell me, let's click it again. I'm going to ask more about it. I'm going to say, oh, let's stop it. I'm going to just stop it. And we're going to ask it again. Can you list me all the coffee choices?
The coffee options on the menu are Americano, Mocha,
Wow.
Espresso, Affogato, Cappuccino, and Latte.
I could use one of those. I think what's something that's really important to note is that I just use regular language. There was no specific vocal command. Just as if you're talking to a friend or you're talking to the waiter in the restaurant, tell me about your coffees. Whatever language is however you'd like to speak, that's the words you can use. I'm going to ask more specific questions, and I can even ask questions beyond the menu. Let's say I'm in New York now, and I want to know about popular coffees in New York. So I'm going to ask the interactive AI assistant, I'm going to ask the AI assistant about popular coffee choices in New York. What are popular coffee choices in New York?
I'm not sure about the specific popular coffee choices in New York. Would you like me to look it up for you?
Yes, please.
information at the
Okay.
moment. You might want to check for recent articles or reviews about coffee in New York.
Okay, so that one didn't work. Let's try another one. Let's try. Oop, she's going again. One
You know, I'm
second.
not sure because it's with the like the device is you're doing it based on a PDF and not through the device. So I think that's why I didn't know.
Could be. That could be why. Let's ask. How is coffee made?
Coffee can be made by brewing ground coffee beans with hot water, producing a flavored infusion.
So how cool is that you can ask questions about, let's say you're doing the menu, but then actually you want to know more information
Yeah, like,
about
what's
coffee.
coffee?
What is coffee? Let's say, I mean, if you don't know what coffee is, that's a bit of a problem. But you live without coffee. But you can just keep going and asking. So if you're in a store
Yeah.
or if you're looking at a specific item online and you want to know more information about the type of product, it's all within one place for you.
Yeah.
It's so easy and accessible. No fancy voice commands, just speak. And I think that's actually our
Just
tagline
ask.
is just ask. Just
Yeah.
ask whatever you need to ask.
Yeah.
And that's really cool. I'm going to show another item about another example of how it can tell me the prices. Can you tell me the price for the cappuccino?
The cappuccino is $15.
Whoa.
Very expensive. What's inside the cappuccino?
The cappuccino consists of equal parts espresso, milk, and milk foam,
Wow.
creating a balance of flavors and a creamy texture.
So it really tells me everything I need to know. I just want to point out there's a stop button. There's also a speed button.
Yeah.
So if you are also from New York, like I am, you can make the speed go up or slower if you need it if you're from somewhere else. Definitely New Yorkers know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
And that's a really cool feature. Another feature we didn't speak so much about is actually we have languages.
Yeah.
So we're not going to demo it right now because we don't have as much time, but basically if you have, you can change, if you are a Spanish speaker, for example, and you want to access text in English, if your system is in Spanish, you can take the English text and it will read it to you. First it'll read it in English and then it will offer you the translation in Spanish. It'll give you the summary in Spanish. It'll give you all the information you need to know in Spanish, and vice versa. If your system is in English, your device system is in English, you can upload a Spanish document or take a picture of a Spanish document within the Smart Magnifier, and it will give you that information in a different language. The Smart Magnifier supports 140 plus languages. So most languages, I think, out there, you can get translation for and information for. That's a really cool feature because if you're planning a trip or something to another country and maybe they don't have brochures or information in English, let's say, you can access it easily and ask questions about it and get more information about it, just as we did with the menu. Another example I can show you guys, I'm going to actually show you another example with an invoice, just to demonstrate how you can take care of your bills independently, get more information about them. So this is actually going to be an invoice. Yes, I'm sure I'm going to start a new session. This is actually going to be an invoice for a bookstore. And here it's going to give me the summary.
Wow.
It's taking a little bit of time.
Yes, thank
Wants
you.
to make sure we can breathe. I guess there's also a lot of information in this one. There's a lot of numbers.
Yeah.
Here is a brief summary of the text. Invoice from Pasek and Lage to Marceline Anderson for items including storybooks, magazines, and notebooks. Total amount due, $12,345. Payment method provided. Based on the summary provided, do you wish to know more information about the payment method or the items included in the invoice?
Yes. How many storybooks were included?
There were 2 storybooks included in the invoice. Do you want me to expand on that?
Yes, please. How much were they?
The price for each storybook was $120. To know?
Yes. When is this bill due?
The total amount due is $1,680. The bill date is December 7th, 2021. Do you want me to explain anything else?
I'm going to stop it there. But that's really cool. Like, you can take care of your bills
Like,
independently.
imagine reading your bill by yourself. You don't need to ask anyone else.
And you know all the information. All the information in the bill is accessible to you. How much, when is it due, what items were in there.
Yeah.
No matter how small the print is in this magnifier, it's a magnifier, you can get access to that information on your own, in the comfort of your own home. You don't have to go anywhere. It's just a really cool feature that you can just take care of everything you need, in addition to be able to having it wherever you go.
Yeah.
We also say independence wherever you go. That's really what we're trying to do here with OrCam, is to make sure that in every scenario you find yourself in, you have the ability to be independent, to participate fully in daily activities,
To
social
customize,
interactions.
It's not just empowered that you have the capability now to read text or recognize faces. It's that you get to decide how and when and
to make
under
it work
what
for you.
Yeah, under what circumstances.
I think that's something really in today's society, is that we don't appreciate, because everything is so easy
Yeah.
for people who are not visually impaired, for
Yeah.
sightseeing people, is that we don't appreciate how this is not so common to have a device like this that really is customizable, is allowing accessibility and inclusivity in situations.
It's designed for that, not just like allowing. It's
Right.
designed.
It's designed for that, but that's
Yeah.
not. We don't appreciate, sightseeing people don't appreciate how infrequent that is today, and and we're really, OrCam is really filling this space to hear what you need, to hear what the low vision community needs, and to create solutions like the OrCam MyEye 3, which really can be customized to your needs, and to give you these options that maybe weren't accessible before. Another thing I feel like we can talk about is perhaps we can talk about images. So something really cool about the Smart Magnifier is it actually doesn't only read text. It can upload family photos. So if you have a really nice family photo and you want to zoom in on it and see the images, you
don't have to take your iPhone and zoom in there. You can use like something on your computer.
If you have a desktop, it could be a bigger one.
Yeah.
Whatever, again, it has to be a computer screen, but you can get a bigger screen than I have right here.
Yeah.
And you can zoom in and it'll describe the image to you. That's amazing. You don't need like a special alt text inserted in addition. It's there. It's built into the system. That's really cool. I think there was a story. It actually wasn't to do with images, but a community ambassador with her mom's recipes.
Yeah.
And I've mentioned this before in previous discussions. I think that's also another beautiful story, is that she has her mom's recipe cards, which were all handwritten.
Yeah.
And we all know, like, recipe foods, it's all emotional, family, connection, nostalgia.
Yeah.
It's all really important to our emotional well-being. And she then took it onto the magnifier. She had the magnifier convert it, like we showed you. It can convert it to digital text, like here, to text mode. So she had it all in text mode, right? This is not a recipe card, it's the bill, but you get the idea.
Yeah, she had the device read it to her, and then she extracted it, and then now she can like copy and paste the text.
Right, which is amazing. It's like, something that before really wasn't accessible. She'd have to probably have someone read it to her, and which, when you're doing something emotional, special, I don't know if her mom's still around or not, but to do something so special like that, you want maybe to have your own time to do it. Sorry, I'm just getting a question here. I mentioned the product. Okay. Yeah, sure. The OrCam MyEye 3. Sorry, it was just a question coming in.
A great question.
A really good question. So yeah, to have that ability with the OrCam MyEye 3, it's a really cool feature, and it takes accessibility to another level. It's no longer just your daily activities. It's touching on those emotional touch points that everyone deserves to have. Reading stories to your kids, seeing their pictures, right? You can upload your kids' pictures if you have little kids or grandchildren, and being able to sit with your grandchild and say, "Ooh, I hear that it's colored in red and it's a beautiful flower," and those are special moments that we appreciate at OrCam, that everyone deserves to have those moments. Everyone deserves to be able to participate in these moments. And that's what our devices are built for. I think more importantly than just not only your daily activities to manage through the day, but to experience life to its fullest. And
Yeah.
I think that's a really cool feature.
Yeah.
I think from here, I think we wanted to discuss some common questions. Oh, here's a
Yeah.
question.
Before we move on, okay, so I just want to say something also with the extracting. So the way it worked, for example, here is the invoice that she extracted the text. For the recipe cards, what the community ambassador did is she just converted it to text. Before she even converted it to text, she could decide, or you could decide if you want to blow it up first and change the contrast the same way you did with text, or rotate it. So you can customize it, or with the photo as well, you can blow it up on the screen so it's much bigger than, like, for example, your iPhone. Then you can extract the text, and you can even extract it as an audio file. So we have
That's
people
true,
who, for example, they'll read a book and then they'll like listen to it as an audio file. So it's very cool, and basically this works. For those who are just joining us, we're talking about the OrCam MyEye 3, which is this beautiful device, and the companion AI assistant and Smart Magnifier, which connects to the OrCam MyEye 3 through a very small cable. So it enables you to use the AI assistant and magnifier wherever you have access to a computer. So it can be at home, if you go to work, if you go to a friend's house, it goes with you.
I just see one question. We're going to get to all the questions, but will this live stream recording be posted? It'll be on YouTube, and if there's other places, if you ever need to reach out and you want more information, you can always message us or email us, and we'd be happy to help you and provide if it's the live or any other information. So please feel free to reach out. Without further ado, should we take some more questions?
Yeah, I have two that we get asked a lot, and then we'll take some from the audience. So first of all, does the OrCam MyEye 3 require the internet to work?
So all the core features do not require internet to work, which is exactly what we said before, is that we want to make sure you have independence wherever you go and you shouldn't feel limited. The Smart Magnifier and the interactive AI assistant do require Wi-Fi, do require internet. So in that case, you would need an internet connection. But the facial recognition, your currency reader, the barcode reader, that is without internet need.
Yeah, so it's really like, for some days, it really, again, is how you go. Like, you go to the supermarket, you have it with you, you come home, you want to look up something in the privacy of your own home, you can use the Smart Magnifier.
Right.
Then, how do you get access to the Smart Magnifier?
So the Smart Magnifier, like we said, it's a web-based browser. So basically, you have to purchase the OrCam MyEye 3. It's not sold individually on its own. When you get the OrCam MyEye 3, you have all the information. You get the stand, where did I put it? You get the stand, and you get the cable, and you get all the information about how to connect your device to the Smart Magnifier. But again, it's within the OrCam MyEye 3. It is also within another product, which we're not talking about, called the OrCam Read 3, which is a slightly different product. But right now in the OrCam MyEye 3, you'd purchase this and you'd get access to the Smart Magnifier. Do we have any other questions? We're just asking our team, trying to get all your questions.
Someone asked about the languages. Can you talk about the languages, how you use it?
The languages, how you use it, specifically in the Smart Magnifier, you have the Smart Magnifier itself supports over 140 plus languages. Your device comes with a specific language setting depending on your region. So in the US, your primary language would be English. But you can, again, depending on which device system you purchase, it'll be different. But when you have it connected to the Smart Magnifier, inside the actual Smart Magnifier, there's a little tab, and you can switch it to the language of your choice. You can also actually switch the voice.
Yeah.
If there's different voices, like if you want a man's voice, you want a woman's voice, and there's different accents as well. But if you want to read something in Spanish and you want it read to you in English, you'll take a picture with your OrCam MyEye 3, or you'll upload the document, whichever is more comfortable for you. And it will first give you, it'll read you the information in English, that's the initial summary. And then you can ask for the translation as you need. So if it's, let's say, a Spanish menu, it'll read you all the information in Spanish. Again, it's the system languages are a little bit more limited, but the translation features are much more. The device itself doesn't come in 100. I just woke her up. The actual device itself doesn't come in 140 plus languages. It does support, I believe, over 20 languages. Our device comes in.
Depending on the region. It's sold all over the world.
Right, depending on the region. But the actual magnifier, with the Smart Magnifier, you have access to over 140 plus languages. So without the Smart Magnifier, you don't have access to that translation feature. And that's what makes the OrCam MyEye 3 so incredible and beyond other devices out there and solutions on the market. I will also want to mention, how could we forget? Right now, there is a special limited time offer on this incredible device, $240 off. This is a limited time offer. It will not last long. Now is your time. In the link in the description of this live video, you will be able to click onto the OrCam MyEye 3 and purchase it for a discounted price. I feel like we can also talk about it for pricing information in general. We do offer payment plans, and all our devices come with a 30-day money-back guarantee. So you can try it out and see how the product works for you. And the payment plans are really customizable to something that's good for you, up to 24 months. So we really work hard to make this device as accessible as possible. More importantly, this is really Linda's territory. But we have an amazing community. You don't just purchase the OrCam device. You get an entire community that's there for you every step of the way. I don't know if you want to talk a little bit about the user space specifically.
Yeah, so I'll talk a little bit about everything that happens. So once you get your OrCam MyEye device, you're a member of our community. You're invited to join our Facebook group, which has almost 3,000 members. So the members are only OrCam MyEye or OrCam Read owners and their family members. So it's a very small, tight-knit, intimate community. And it really is a great place. You know, we have several community ambassadors in there, and they're there kind of to offer the perspective of someone who is an actual OrCam MyEye user. So you can ask a question, for example, we'll get technical questions, and there'll be someone from customer support there to answer, but there'll also be community ambassadors or just other members of the team who can answer from a kind of unofficial response or an emotional response or share their experiences. You know, we had one guy go to the supermarket for the first time with his OrCam MyEye by himself, and he spoke about what a exciting, like, I wouldn't say opportunity, but experience that was. Or we see like one of our community ambassadors just posted she went to a restaurant and she uses her OrCam MyEye to read. So it really is both technical support with the device as well as emotional support. And to that note, we also usually every month will have a few different sessions specifically for device owners. So for example, this month at the OrCam MyEye, on Sunday, we're offering 4 ways to read with the OrCam MyEye. So like I mentioned, there are multiple ways to access each feature. So, at the OrCam MyEye, you can tap it, you can point it, you can use a feature called Smart Reading, which will pull out specific information in the text, not online, it doesn't use Wi-Fi. And there is also, so there's Smart Reading, pointing, tapping, and then the automatic page recognition. So every month we go into a deeper topic with our community ambassador, Adila. Usually once a month or twice a month, our community support will offer both an advanced training and then an intro. So really, like, even just you get your device, you can join us and we'll show you how to unbox it. We'll show you, how to put it on your glasses, how to turn it on, where to put in the charger, things like that. So you're really supported. And even more importantly, I would say we have an incredible customer support team. So it's actual people, like you write to us and it's not like a bot, it's an actual person who will get on a call with you or even a Zoom session if you want, and they'll review your device with you. So the idea is really that you feel good about the technology and good about using your OrCam MyEye and supported, and that it's a positive experience.
And having access to human support today is not something you can take for granted.
It's very rare.
I want to add, as more of like an observer of the user space, it's really a family, meaning people cheer you on for your successes. When you have a hard time, not only does OrCam and our community ambassadors all reach out to help, but everyone's there to help you. Everyone, it's really it's a family. There's no other way to describe it, and I think that's also something that is priceless. It's valuable beyond words.
It's a very special place, so we would love to have you join us.
Yes.
I guess.
Do we have any other questions coming our way that we just make sure we hit on every point?
We're joined by Andre behind the scenes.
Yes. What else do we want to say about OrCam? I think some of the stories that come through, we've spoken about some of them with the OrCam MyEye, but I'd like to discuss some more of them. I think We've mentioned we have moms. We also have kids.
Yeah.
We have kids that use it, and kids that use it and are able to go to school and participate in school activities, school classes in general.
Yeah.
And be a regular student, which and not feel hindered by the fact that they have a vision disability. The device does require for the ability to speak and the ability to use fine motor skills. So it wouldn't be appropriate for children under a certain age, but for school-age children, most school-age children, it's really a great device for them as well if they have visual impairments. Another thing we didn't actually speak about, and we're kind of jumping around, but actually for veterans, the OrCam MyEye 3,
for American veterans,
American U.S. veterans. It's Memorial Day coming up soon, so it's also a really important topic to speak about. You can get the OrCam MyEye depending on your veterans association. You can get it for free. Again, you would have to speak with your veterans association to get more information about whether you qualify or not. But we also do offer that, and so again, we really want to support. We absolutely support the U.S. veterans, and really want to make sure those with visual impairments have access to the OrCam MyEye, and that's also a really important thing to notice. So if you are a veteran or you have a family member that's a veteran, and this could be really useful for, please reach out to your veterans association and to us as well, and we're here to help you. You can find us on Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, TikTok, Instagram. Really reach out. We're here to help. And give you all the resources and information you need, and it's a real person. It's not a bot. It's a real
Ellie.
person.
You might even get
it's
Ellie.
Me. 99% of the time it's me. So please reach out and let us know how we can help you with any questions you have about the product.
Yeah, I would say the official language, I think, with the veterans is qualified veterans may be eligible for a free device, but that's
right.
basically
Again,
what
you have
you're
to
saying.
check. Yes, that's a better way of saying it. Good content. We're gonna wrap up here, but again, like we mentioned, please reach out to us, email, message us. We're here to help you. We're here to support you. This was really fun.
Yeah,
I really enjoyed it.
It's our first time going on this
together.
together.
I think we're definitely going to do this again. It was really fun, and I really hope it was helpful and resourceful and valuable for you. Again, please don't forget the OrCam MyEye 3 now on sale for a limited time only, $240 discount. You don't want to miss this because this deal is not going to last.
Yeah, we don't do
we
deals
don't
like
always.
that.
Yeah, so definitely, especially again if you have a family member, it's Memorial Day coming up, Mother's Day just passed, but Father's Day is coming up. Please don't forget about your family members who might use it, or yourself. We're here to help you. This was really fun. Again, I'm Ellie.
And I'm Linda, and we can't wait to see you next